Jungle. You guys want to talk about the jungle? Have you ever heard about the word jungle? Have you ever been to a jungle? Did you know the different types of jungles that are across the world? You got the Amazon jungle, the ones in Africa, you got the ones in Australia. Listen, man, even the word jungle, like jungle, like the fact that it's 6 words, 6 is such a wonderful amount of letters to have in a word. It makes me so passionate to talk about jungles. Shut up! Just shut up. That's how I feel after reading this book. Shut up. But frankly, I won't be shutting up because I have to talk about this book. I'm going to be talking about how I got my shrunken head. I know, that's a crazy intro. That is a very, very ambitious, crazy intro. But to be fair, this book is non-stop talking about jungles. The whole main character's personality is just the fact that he likes jungles, and that's really about it. And you know, I have a personal grudge against jungles because my ex Felicia ran off into the jungle with the rest of the GYGs that I'm still missing till this day. That's why you guys can't get certain reviews. I can't get All Day Nightmare done. I can't get what came from the internet. I can't get what's the Hocus Pocus Horror. I can't get none of those reviews out to you. Not because I'm broke, not because I'm lazy, not because I'm an idiot, which is all 3 things she said, by the way. It's because she stole them and ran off to the jungle, which turns out I found out is Newark, New Jersey, with her man, who's also in the circus. Granted, the circus is a jungle, and if you put the circus in the Newark, New Jersey is a jungle in itself, so that's like double jungle. So that's like Pangea. Forget it. She ran off with my shit. That's all you gotta hear. And frankly, I'm pissed. And then I gotta read this book, where it's about jungles. And it's about a woman running off with the person's shit. Or trying to run off with it. And therefore, I have to do this review. How I Got My Shrunken Head is one of the books from the OG 62. And I'm going to be reviewing it today. And if you want to know my thoughts, I would recommend you read it. I think it's fun, but I have to say, it's average. It's got fun points in it. It's got points that I like. It has potential. It does some things different than other Goosebumps books do. But it's average. And I know that's going to make a lot of you mad, because a lot of people love this book. I heard a lot of people praise this book, think it's fun, think it's good, especially if someone's in my Discord. And I read this book and I'm like, there's no way y'all defended this that hard. That's how I feel a lot of the time when talking to some of you guys about these books. I'm like, there's no way y'all defended it this hard. It's alright. It's alright. It's mid. Mid ain't bad. But it's mid regardless. Alright? What's this book about? Okay? This book, How I Got My Shrunken Head, is about a kid named Mark. And Mark loves jungles. He's all about jungles. He plays a jungle video game. It's the winter, I think, over there. He's playing a jungle video game. His homies come over. They want to hop on. But he's the best at this temple run jungle, whatever. The man wants to be Tarzan. The man wants to be Mowgli. You know what I'm saying? Live action jungle book. He rocks at the game. His friends don't. And his friends are getting bored. They're like, yo, why are you always talking about jungles? Why are you always trying to do everything related to jungles? There's more stuff to life. You know that, right? And he's like, no, because life doesn't sound like the word jungle. Jungle, life, you know what I'm saying? Synonyms, but they ain't really more. One is higher level, one is down here. Jungles. He plays the game. He's the best at it. His friends leave. They're like, you know what? Forget this kid. And that's when Mark realizes that I'm all alone in the world, because my passion nobody else resonates with, and the only other person in my life that resonated this much with my passion is my Aunt Brenna. His aunt, it's either Brenna or Benna, I don't know. His aunt, I'll call her Brenna for now. If it's Benna, my bad. His aunt Brenna is a scientist that works in a jungle island called Balladora. And she's exploring there. She's discovered a lot of species. She's done a lot of scientific research there. And Mark has always wanted to go with her to these, Balladora, because he loves the jungle. He would love to be a scientist finding new species. He thinks it's an adventure for him, but meanwhile, he's stuck in his house. And he only met Aunt Brenna when he was super young. So he barely even remembers her. But, she always talks about him apparently with her sister. His sister is the mother. So, okay, talks about it with the mom. Always praises kind of Mark. He wants to meet her. He wants to go out. He feels kind of secluded. He's an adventurous kid who wants to pursue his passion but can't do it. And then one day, Aunt Brenna's assistant, who works with her in the scientific research, Carolyn, shows up to their house. And she brings forth a gift to Mark, which was from his aunt, which was a green shrunken head. That's right. A green shrunken head, and it's apparently a real shrunken head from that of an indigenous member of this Baldora island, one of the native people there. This is a part of like the rituals that they do. They get shrunken heads, so she brings it forth to Mark, and it's supposed to represent good luck. So he kind of gives it to her. He studies it. He thinks it's kind of weird, but he's like, you know what? I haven't seen her in a long time. The fact she even got this to me is great, and I'm obsessed with the jungle, and this is a piece of memorabilia that's from, the jungle research he's doing. So, I'll take it. I'll take it. So he puts it in her room. Carolyn catches up with the mom and him, talks about some of the stuff that Aunt Brenna's going through. And then one night, as they're about to go to bed, Mark is in his bed, and he swears as he wakes up in the middle of the night that he thinks the shrunken head is glowing. He thinks it's glowing. And then, before he can even realize, it starts levitating. And he thinks it's floating up to him and coming right up to his face. And he freaks out, he screams, he rolls out of bed, goes, asks for Carolyn, asks for his mom. They come over, he explains that his mom thinks he's crazy, or he must have been dreaming at least. He woke up from a vivid dream and that's what happened. There wasn't really, a shrunken head waking up and going all haunted mask. That's not what happened. So then his mom goes back to bed, but he notices that Carolyn is kind of giving him the rock face. The whole, like, you know what I mean? Like, she ain't dismissing him. She's kind of going, what'd you say you experienced? Not saying that, but she's thinking it by the way she's looking at him. And he kind of looks back like, yo, what do you know? And she's looking at him like, what do you know? So they kind of have that little interaction. And then the next day, he actually gets his dream come true, because Aunt Brenna does invite Mark to come over to Balladora and help with the research. So he's going to fly back with Carolyn and go over there. And obviously his mom is kind of reluctant. She's like, whoa, this is my kid. You want me to send him 2 weeks over there? He's going to be in the middle of the jungle. Can he even take care of himself? We don't even know what type of insects or bugs or species might be out there. His life may be at risk. But Mark is super, wanting to go because this has been his lifetime dream so far. And I say lifetime as in 12 years because that's a lifetime in Goosebumps book. 12 years he's wanted to go to the jungle. Carolyn's like, yo, don't worry. We'll take care of him. He'll be fine. And Aunt Brenna is obviously confident enough for Mark to come. So they agree. Mark goes on a plane with Carolyn over there. And as he lands in Balladora, he meets Carolyn's brother, who's also working with Aunt Brenna in their research, and then their daughter in this little shack kind of base area for the Balladora. Because Balladora is a very remote island, indigenous wilderness, and they have a base there, and that's the best they can do. So as he gets there, there's a revelation. One that was not explained to Mark, one that was not explained to his mom in the beginning of this story, which was that Aunt Brenna is actually missing. And that is why Carolyn brought over Mark, because she's missing, and maybe Mark might be the right one to find her. Why is that? Well, Carolyn, her brother, and the daughter of the brother have been wanting to find, obviously, Aunt Brenna. They've been doing their best. They've been trying to find her. They've been reading through her work, and they can't find out where she might have gone, what might have happened to her. So they need Mark to come in, and the reason why they need Mark to come in is because in one of Aunt Brenna's diaries or journals, it was actually written that she gifted Mark something. She granted him something when he was young, and this gift may be the secret that could help find her. She said, kind of making this sort of prophecy. I passed this on to my kid, not kid, and now this is going to come back in the future and help us out. So this thing is called jungle magic. And the shrunken head is tied to it somehow. This gift that, she gave Mark, this is all going to play into this mystery. So this book is basically taking you outside of the normal suburb area, taking you into this jungle area, Baldora, and going on an adventure / mystery of finding the missing Aunt Brenna. And from there on, things get wild. All right. So again, how do I feel about this book? It's a fun read. I would recommend it, but I do have to say that it's average. This is a very average Goosebumps book to me. It doesn't really stand out in terms of some of the writing, some of the negatives I have with it, balancing out with some of the positives. The main thing about this book you have to know is that it very much feels like a Give Yourself Goosebumps book written in an OG62 condensed linear format. So I think that's the main reason why I take points off this book, is because it feels all over the place. It feels like, hey, there's a lot of adventure going on, but simultaneously the adventure feels like, all right, this adventure stuff going on is too much. There's too much going on to match this linear structure of the book to feel like it's not bouncing back and forth. There's too little at the same time where it feels like, all right, we're entering Baldora, this completely made up island by Stein that has all this indigenous jungle and this indigenous people that live there. We don't get any information really much on it, so it's not explored as much as you figure you could if you made a GYG. Because again, the issue with the GYG being an OG62 format is OG62 is a linear story. It follows from start to beginning. It's not different endings, different storylines, different story paths. No, it's all one. And it has to be treated as such. So you're effectively condensing it down, which makes it too much and also too little, for it to be explored. I think How I Got My Shrunken Head, take this story, it would have been much better as a GYG, which I heard is what Jungle of Doom is. I heard Jungle of Doom, that GYG is effectively this sort of jungle, Give Yourself Goosebumps book, but I feel like How I Got My Shrunken Head already has lore written in it, and I feel like it would have just been better to take Baldora and put it, in the Jungle of Doom book. Maybe the Jungle of Doom book references How I Got My Shrunken Head. I haven't read it, so I don't know. But yeah, this book is kind of all over the place. And also, it's very random in certain parts. There are parts of this book that I enjoy. Like, I like the mystery aspect. I like the missing, aunt aspect. You have to find her. I like the aspect of there's an encounter he has with a tiger that is very terrifying, very well written, and very tense, very scary. I like that encounter a lot. But there's a lot of stuff in this book that just poses negatives. And I can name off some. First of all, jungle magic. Jungle magic is actually an integral part to the story. And I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to spoil it because it would be a very big spoiler. Again, towards the second half of the book, it is a very integral part of the story. However, it has no explanation. And it ends up basically becoming a plot convenience or a plot device in motion. I think that's what my friend Completionist said on Discord. And it's a good way to explain it. This is a plot convenience on standby at all times because there's no explanation as to what this aspect is. We don't get an explanation really on its origin, on what it does, and what exactly the specifics of it are. What are the origin? We don't get a detailed look at it. We're just like, hey, this thing exists. It's important to this story. It's going to be implemented throughout. That kind of takes me a little bit away, where it's like, it feels very stupid. It just feels like, hey, this is a cheat code on standby that you're just going to keep there for the rest of the story. If you read the story in the second half, you will see what I mean by that. Then you also have the fact of Mark. I don't care. Mark is cringy. He is such a lame character in this book. All he does is talk about jungle. He has no personality. He has nothing. Like this is that type of person that because they have no personality, they fill that void with a passion of theirs or something like okay, Harry Potter. We'll just take Harry Potter. There are people out there, and you know who you are. And if you get offended by this, you're one of those people. There are people out there who have no personalities or no ability to converse with anyone. So instead, they'll become an expert of Harry Potter, and that's their entire personality. The fact that I am the number one Harry Potter stan. I know everything. I know publication dates. I know the exact specifics of every recopy and reprint that's been out there. I know every single storyboard and idea that goes into Harry Potter. I know every little bit of info about it. And that's their entire personality. That's all they talk about. They only ever talk about Harry Potter. And it's like, bro, do you have a life? And this is coming from a guy who's a big fan of a lot of stuff. I'm an anime nerd. I am a kids horror / horror nerd. I talk about this stuff a lot. But I at least can entertain you guys for a little bit in other stuff, or at least bring something. This guy, Mark, all he talks about is jungle. All he does is rave about jungle. He has no personality. And it gets to the point where you're getting waterboarded or jungle boarded, leaf boarded, I don't know what it is. You get waterboarded by his constant urge to talk about it. And it's so forced and shoved in your face that you just don't take interest in it after a while. And then the climax. The climax has a certain aspect that I enjoy. I do like that. But the ending is so strange. The ending to that climax is so random, so strange, and you're just like, all right, whatever. And the twist ending to this book is terrible. I've heard people defend it. Shut up. Just shut up. Just sometimes you just gotta look at someone and you can be like, bro, say that shit again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that type of ending that I'm like, I don't want to hear anyone defend that ending. Like it's such a bad twist that I'm like, if you read Egg Monsters from Mars, it's like that type of stupid twist. Like, I haven't read Egg Monsters from Mars, but I do know about the infamous twist ending because it's so dumb. It's that type of twist ending where you just sit there and you're like, what? Wait, what? What? No, that's not, but what? That's what it is. That's the twist ending to this book. So that just sort of kicks you in the nuts. The ending to the climax and the twist ending kicks you in the nuts, or lips for whoever's listening. I don't know. That's what it is. That's all it is. And honestly, with the rest of the book, it has moments that I get happy. The tiger scene, the villain, the final villain in this book, he's got his own magic. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I describe it, you know, forget jungle magic. He's got magic, all right. He's got magic for real. He be tucking that magic right here, ready to go. You know what I'm saying? The John Wick magic. That's what he is, and I respect that about him. I respect that a lot about the villain. All right. Yes, you will see guns in this story, at least for that portion. But the rest of the story is just mid, or which averages out to being an average Goosebumps book. That's all I have for today. That is my How I Got a Shrunken Head book review. I will have an episode review dropping tomorrow, and I will also have a comparison video probably dropping later that evening as well. I'll probably drop or maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll drop both those videos, and that way you guys can get those 3 video package combo right there right before I go on vacation, because I will be going on vacation from Wednesday evening to Sunday, and then I'll be back on Sunday, and then I can start uploading more content again. And yeah, that's all I have for today. Go read this book. Go see how you feel about it. It's a fun read. I think you will enjoy parts of it. But for me, it's just an average book. That's what it averages out to. And I don't think it's anything special. But we'll see. I still have an episode to go. And if that episode does better, then I can do a better comparison and see which one I like more. That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, deuces. No, seriously, if anyone mentions jungle again, you're going to wake up in the Amazon and you're going to have an anaconda around you and a jaguar drooling down your throat. All right, don't mention jungle again, especially New Jersey, because I'm still looking for that all-day nightmare. And my girl.